I know that we're sending out all these influencers to start doing and posting on their own. We're starting to make more TikToks and Reels.
Market's telling us that's what they want, so we're figuring out how to make them and give them the footage of how to use the product and how the market's showing us how it's being used. So we're trying to provide the market what it wants.
Hey everyone, this is Nazar Akil from Max Pro.
Hi, I'm Linda.
And I'm Paul.
And we're Love and Pebbles.
Hi, this is Lopa Vandermersch from Rasa.
Oh, you're listening to,
And you are listening to the E-Comm Show.
Welcome to the Ecomm Show, presented by BlueTuskr, the #1 place to hear the inside scoop from other e-commerce experts, where they share their secrets on how they scaled their business and are now living the dream. Now, here is your host, Andrew Math.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Ecomm Show. I'm your host, as usual, Andrew Math, and today I am joined by Chris and Mike of City Bonfires. Chris, Mike, how you guys doing? You ready for a good show?
We're doing great. Thanks for looking out.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're super pumped to be here. Thank you.
Beautiful. Super excited to have you guys on the show. Your story, your background, how you've gotten from where you were to where you are in such a short amount of time. Super excited to go into this. I love starting these things off the traditional way. I'd love to give you guys an opportunity here to just let everyone know a little bit more about yourselves, more about City Bonfires, and we can go from there, right?
Yeah, for sure. Again, thanks for having us. Michael and I are next door neighbors, and we've been friends for a while. And before COVID, and then COVID came, and we got to know each other even more, living right across the street and the kids playing, every day with no school and, trying to entertain the kids. So Michael and I were chatting every day and trying to come up with some stuff to do and produce some income. Both of our jobs were, in our previous careers were impacted by COVID. So we were just sitting around, had nothing to work on. So we started researching products and different things that we could make. And, using our time with our kids, we came up with City Bonfires. And it's been a really, really fun ride since then. And we've produced a little over 1 million bonfires so far. We're in a large warehouse. We were in my garage where we're shooting today.
Exactly.
But now we've got about a little under 10,000 square foot warehouse that we're working from now. Right down the street in Rockville, Maryland. We still make them all here. So, we've been rocking and rolling.
You guys still neighbors?
Yeah.
We are, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to hear you didn't split up after that.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you got to get over here. We got 10 minutes.
So you obviously launched this. This is a pandemic business, but it's probably one of the most successful pandemic businesses I've ever heard of.
Thank you.
I know you guys have surpassed, I think it's 25 million in sales, and that's obviously in probably 2.5 years.
Exactly.
I would imagine you probably launched summer, winter of 2020?
Yeah, right there. Our first sale was August 15th of 2020. So we're 2.5 years in.
That's ridiculous. There's so many sellers out there that couldn't surpass that amount of money in 10 years. So bravo, well done. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
so then of course
it was a lot of work, but luck and things worked out. So anybody could do it.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest benefit, at least in my opinion, is obviously that your product line was fantastic for the pandemic because everyone's stuck at home. They're spending a lot of time outside. I did the same thing. As soon as I read about you guys, I actually was one of your customers, bought one a couple years ago until I was like, all right, I just got to put a giant fire pit in because I was lucky enough to have a yard to do it in. But at the time I was in an apartment. I was like, this thing is great. I love this thing. It's awesome.
Perfect.
So I'm imagining because it came from the pandemic, that was a lot of the success from it. But what do you think was the thing that really helped you guys kind of propel this as it started to come out?
Well, I think we were really fortunate, like you said, with the pandemic and everybody was forced to be at home. I think the portability of it was something that really connected with people. And then I think, in hindsight, we can see better than we could at the time. But I think it was because people were sending an experience to their family member or friends. I think the connectivity of that, rather than just being something, an item, it was an item that you knew when you sent it to your nieces or nephews or your cousins or your grandkids or whoever it is. You knew they were going to go out and have fun and think about the sender in a positive light. And so I think that's a little bit of the magic that got wrapped up in our story.
And is everything made here in the States? Do you outsource anything overseas?
Not
What's
at
that
all.
like?
Everything's made in the United States and brought to our warehouse in Rockville, and we hand make them there with the wax and the briquettes and the can. All the processes are done in Rockville, and we do our own shipping.
That was one of the things we were focusing on, because Chris was thinking through like how to start up a drop ship business. But the issue is even if he came up with the best idea in the world, if it can't get on a boat to America, it didn't matter. So when we were designing this, we were lucky enough to find vendor partners that if we had to, we could get in trucks and drive to. And so because we built that infrastructure that way, it's really given us a lot of flexibility when we need to move fast. We know it's only so many hours to this place, so many hours, and we can get in the trucks ourselves and go get it.
Which we've done a lot of.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
What's your background? Because a lot of the decisions you guys are making right out of the gate for a new like e-commerce business are very like solid decisions that most sellers would have to learn the hard way for. So like what's your background that you guys kind of knew the best ways to approach this stuff?
I guess, I came up, my college degree is in hospitality, and Chris's career has been through restaurants and hospitality. So I think that probably is the key pin if you're looking for one item. We know that the customer is king, and we know that their experience matters, because not only are they going to use it, but in the world we're selling in, they're going to make comments on Instagram and Facebook, and that's going to help other people kind of connect with the product. So I think maybe it's sales is sales, and we don't really let any hurdles get in our way. That's something that's harder to convey in a single word. There's nothing that's going to stop us. But I think the fact that we were hospitality focused may be what the answer you're looking for.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Plus, I think it's been years since I was in the hospitality business, but it was basically like I would think that you also were really good at knowing like where your vendors are at and if you got to go deal with them. So obviously that still worked out for you in your favor for this as well, right?
Yeah, and that's a benefit of being, we're 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C., so we're in close to Baltimore, which is a major port and hub, and Philly, and, we're in a great area of the country to, have people around us, and within a 3 to 5 hour drive, below that, but,
Yeah.
We've rented so many freaking trucks, we could own a 28-foot Penske truck by now,
Probably.
but yeah, so we make the biggest thing is just to make it happen, and not let anything get in your way, and think outside the box, and just get it done, and renting the truck is like one of the prime examples of not letting anything get in your way. Like just go get a freaking truck and go get it.
Yeah. Are you solely selling on your website, or are you also on multiple different marketplaces? Are you in retail at all? Like what sales channels are you using?
Obviously we have our Shopify website. We have a wholesale division that, sells to different retailers. We're on Fair. We were in like a little over 1,000 separate boutiques on the Commerce Fair. We have a big promo product stance. So with PPAI and ASI, where you can do corporate logos for things. We've done Facebook, Netflix, multiple Netflix movie premieres. We sent out, especially during COVID, to all the actors, and people, throughout the movie, and they did a Zoom for the night it came out.
Last week we were just in San Antonio
Cool.
at the Ace Hardware show, so we promoted our stuff to all the individual Ace Hardware stores. So we're pursuing all the avenues that become available to us.
Yeah. So the past 2.5 years, we've spent millions and millions on ads, right? I mean, you could look it up, and you can put it together. So we're using all that money that we've used on, that we spent on the ads, and people know who we are, and we'll like go, the ads are killer. They're super funny. Thanks to our agency, Honest Agency, good friends of ours.
Yeah.
And they crush, and people love them, and they love our ads, and we're relatable guys. So people know who we are. So we're parlaying that into these retail stores, and we have these really cool like 24-pack retail display boxes that have our photos and all the info about the bonfire, and they've been rocking, and that's what we sell on Fair. We're in all of Tractor Supply. We're in a number of Ace Hardwares. We're in all of the Air Force Exchange stores, like 120 of those,
Wegmans.
and Wegmans, and many more stores to come that we're working on today.
Beautiful. Are you also on like the online marketplace like Amazon, Walmart, all that?
Yeah. Those ones, yes. But the retail is fun too.
We've been fortunate that we had such success on the D2C side that now we're trying to layer in some of the brick and mortar retail side to capitalize on the expenses we've spent already in our ads. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have seen us and seen the product, and we're hoping to get like an impulse style purchase from them walking by and seeing it in a place close to where they live.
What do you think attributed to the success from a D2C standpoint, like right in the beginning? Like, how'd you kind of get that snowball effect going? What were your marketing strategies? What was your kind of go-to approach?
Well, again, this goes a little bit of back to COVID and everybody's stuck at home and everybody's sitting on their phones. So it was a perfect storm for the ads at that period of time, and it was such a cool experience, or it is a cool experience to not only gift someone but to do with your kids. Like we said at the beginning, we were stuck at home with our kids all day long. Like I don't know how a teacher does this every day with like 30 kids, right? So we just have 3 and now 4. But so we're trying to entertain the kids. So I think other people were doing, the whole country, the whole world was doing the exact same thing, is trying to think of stuff to entertain their kids. And for $20, to $40 for the s'mores, whatever, you could have that 3 days at your house, and it's just another activity that's going to take an hour to the day that you have to entertain your kid.
And the story was relatable. I mean, we weren't the only people whose jobs were impacted. And we trudged forward and we found a way through it. And I think there's a lot of notes of the American dream in that story, and that connected with a broad base of people. And they saw Chris and I, just trying to do what we could to, provide for our families. And I think people respected that, and that may have gotten them to watch the ad, right? That may be the reason they watched the ad. And then they watched the ad and they were like, hey, this is a pretty simple item. It's not that expensive. Let me try it. And so I think we're just very fortunate from timing. Chris and I definitely, if you can get paid on effort, we'd be making a lot more money.
Oh yeah. How big's the team at this point?
Well, during the Christmas season is like the massive, Q4 is incredible.
Yeah.
We'll have 25 to 35 people, like 2 shifts sometimes if needed, like right at the end of, like right at Thanksgiving, Black Friday is like prime time, as you know. And right now we're maybe like 8 to 10 people with the sales people and such.
Yeah. Are you solely in the US, or have you ventured into other regions at all?
Through Fair, we're in multiple other regions. Through just shipping, through our store, we are in Canada, Mexico, and that's it right now. But we're trying. But
so do you shift your marketing more to Canada around this time of year?
No, I mean I think we're doing the same. We do, Canada has done really well for us, but to be honest with you, I don't know exactly, where he pushes, this, to this and that, but I'll ask him. That's a good question.
How are you liking Fair? Fair has really started to make itself known in the industry in the past, I would say year or so. Yeah. And I'm starting to hear more and more sellers being a big fan of it. What's your experience been with it?
I wish the commission was less, obviously, but I'm sure, anybody would take that.
We all do.
It's a big bite, it's a big bite of what you get. I'll say that for sure. I absolutely wish it could be cheaper, but it's where this, people are shopping there, the beach shop to the nail salon that has a little, boutique type thing in the front, any of the, and then that's honestly where, how we got into Ace Hardware was through Fair. There was a number, Ace Hardwares are individually owned. And, some folks own, 2 to 5, 10, whatever, but they're all individually owned. And people bought, Ace Hardwares buy on Fair. And then we reached out to a local guy here that kept buying in Virginia. And he had told us, how we needed to proceed with Ace. And as Michael said, we were just in San Antonio last week for their big spring convention. And we sold to, hundreds of Ace stores. So it was a great show for us.
It was well received.
Beautiful. How are you looking to expand the product line, if at all? I know you've got the s'mores kit, and you kind of have a gift set kit and an outdoor kit, but what's the breadth of where you think it's going to
go? We've got a lot of different ideas. We came out with these the citronella candles that really rock. We have all this wax that we use to make the bonfire, so we could easily become candle makers of any sort at this point. even though we never made a candle prior to this venture, but now we've made millions, I guess.
Yeah.
So the citronella is, we have 4 different scents: a eucalyptus citronella on its own, a s'more citronella, and then a combination of eucalyptus and citronella. So that's been good. We have a grill. What else do you got?
The mug.
Oh, we have a mug, with our name on it, with our logo. That's a candle that's scented like hot chocolate. And my father actually came over, and he's now our warehouse manager / candle scientist.
Yeah, mix master.
And so he's
the mix master.
little marshmallow cubes out of wax that he sprinkles on top of the hot chocolate candle. So as it's burning down, the marshmallow scented wax is also mixing with the hot chocolate wax. So the smell is incredible. So we've got that.
And that's our
Your dad's a
first truly
genius.
Indoor candle. Everything else we make is outdoor only, but that one is the first venture into indoor candles.
Yeah. We have a grill, like a collapsible grill we're working on. That's out. That's on the website. We've had it up for a few months now.
That was when Texas lost their power, that's what's inspired that. We saw a lot of people were using different things to melt snow to make the water to be able to boil noodles. And so, what's great about the Instagram, Facebook part of the business is that you get instant feedback. And so Chris and I were talking about it, and we were like, this is something that the market wants. So how do we create it? And so we bought some stainless steel and started cutting it. And Chris's father and I were messing with it, and we came up with it. And it's been a pretty good seller. And we thought of it for emergencies, but it's also really good for camping. And it breaks down into like an index card size. So it's really small and compact.
Wow.
Like, we keep learning from people. People put it in like the glove compartment of their car, just in case an emergency arises. So the uses are far beyond what we originally envisioned.
Yeah. So we're working on a few things.
Were you 2 inventors before this?
I don't really think so.
No.
I mean, we were businessmen, right? So we had like a little bit of that entrepreneurial to us as far as how we operated in our fields. But I've never created anything prior to this.
Not that anything. I would never created anything that anybody would want to buy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So obviously you've mentioned a couple times, like you're very heavy on the ad side. That's definitely how you're kind of acquiring your customers. What else are you doing outside of that? Have you ventured into like a strong approach in social or influencer marketing or SEO or retention? Like what's your approach been outside of the ads?
Yeah, we've reached out to a bunch. We signed up for a new that partners with the influencers. So you can choose them a lot. This is something that my wife and the agency does. So I might screw a little bit of this up, but
it's all right.
We're part. I know that we're sending out like hundreds of things to all these influencers to start doing and posting on their own. We're starting to make more TikToks and Reels, which that's a little bit below our age, right? So we're trying to learn how to flow with that, but that's been fun. We made a really good one last night. We now like script them out, so we're taking it seriously. So we're trying to do that. We're big, I know we use Klaviyo for the emails. What else?
And we're learning from the market, like Chris is saying, with the TikToks and the Reels and that kind of stuff. The market's telling us that's what they want, so we're figuring out how to make them and give them the footage of how to use the product and how the market's showing us how it's being used. So we're trying to, provide the market what it wants.
Nice. How hot do they actually get comparative to? Actually, I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to because I don't. Do you have you started to develop competition now? Are you getting a ton of knockoffs and having to deal with that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're happening. There's nothing you can do to stop people from doing that. But our name and brand recognition is what we're going to have to ride on. And so,
and you guys got so big so fast that
and
I'm sure you're owning it.
And we're trying like we going to ACE, trying to get it in front of people. I mean, that's the only way you can combat certain things. I mean, it's kind of flattering when people, mimic you, right? That's the highest form of flattery, as frustrating as it is from time to time. But I don't know that they can do everything we're doing. It's not a challenge, but we've been pretty lucky in the promotional product market and stuff like that.
Yeah, don't tell.
But they last like, is it 3 to 5 hours? It is, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but you
Somewhere
can extinguish the flame at any time. So the total burn time is 3 to 5 hours. But you could use it for 15 minutes. Like last night, we were making s'mores with our kids for a TikTok video, and we had it lit for 20 minutes. And we made our s'mores. We filmed our video. We slid the lid over, and we could use it again today for the videos we're making today. So it's not just one time use. You could use it as many times as you'd like.
Yeah. What's the end game? Is your thought you're going to hand it down to your kids one day? Are you thinking the goal is to eventually get acquired? Have you even thought through that far ahead yet?
I think we're open to what comes. I mean, so we're willing to have any conversation that comes. I mean, it's paying for our lives for, this is going to be the third, fourth year. I mean, so that's great. We're continuing to grow. So while we have the quote unquote off season, right, where things are, not as hectic as they are during the Q3 and 4, this is when we're developing a lot of things. And a lot of the stuff we developed last spring, summer, then helped us, crush even harder during Q3 and 4. And we're doing the same thing this year. This year, we're layering in a lot more retail and spending a lot more time learning about that side of the business. As far as what the future holds, I don't know that any of us would have thought we'd be here at this point. So again, we're open to all discussions, but might as well stay on the train as long as it lasts.
Yeah. What is it it's always an interesting question because it's something I usually try to do towards the end of our show anyway, is like, what is the motivation for you guys? Like everyone's kind of got their own thing. I feel like every time I ask this question, I get a different answer. And obviously there's two of you. So I'm imagining I'm going to get a different answer from both of you. But like, what's the thing that like you wake up and that's what gets you excited to keep growing this?
Just my family, and providing and being a good dad and husband and son and brother, just being the best that I can be. Nothing particular, just supporting my family
and what it can provide for them. I mean, this opportunity is, when we talk to the kids and they can see that if you work hard and you develop something that, there's different paths in America. You don't necessarily have to follow the normal path to get there. And I mean, what an opportunity for them to be in these videos a little bit and, kind of see how it works. Who knows how that'll broaden their horizons.
Yeah. Beautiful. Chris, Mike, really appreciated having you guys on the show. I'd obviously like to give you guys the opportunity. Feel free to let everyone know where they can find out more about you and, of course, City Bonfires. Yeah,
our website is citybonfires.com. Mike and I's emails is Chris and Michael at citybonfires.com if you want to email us. We're on every social at City Bonfires. And I think that's our spiel.
Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks so much for being on the show, guys. Obviously, everyone that tuned in, thank you as well. Per usual, rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff on whichever platform you want, or head over to ecommshow.com to check out all of our other episodes. But as usual, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ecomm Show. Head over to ecommshow.com to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform or on the BlueTuskr YouTube channel. The Ecomm Show is brought to you by BlueTuskr, a full-service digital marketing company specifically for e-commerce sellers looking to accelerate their growth. Go to BlueTuskr.com now for more information. Make sure to tune in next week for another amazing episode of the Ecomm Show.